Still live on Joy News today. We must apologize for that slight technical hitch which caused a break in our transmission. Let's bring you that story where 29 West African nationals are stranded in Kumasi after their hope of landing their dream jobs in a mining firm hit a snag. The all-male foreigners reportedly paid $700 each to a supposed recruitment agency to facilitate their employment. They, however, arrived in Ghana last February, only to learn the deal was rather for network marketing. My colleague Ohiming Terrier has more.
Life has since been difficult for the victims who have unsuccessfully been demanding refund of their monies from the group, which operates with the name KillNet. 29-year-old Mohammed Bonga is one of the affected persons.
For the two of you, they said, we are going to put you on the computer side. They said, just sign. We will not call you here for rubbish. And I hope you told us that you don't know Ghana for rubbish. You don't know them for criminal act. You know some country for criminal act. They took me inside the room again. They started filling the form. They said, write your name. I write my name. Write your date of birth. I write my date of birth. Your next of kin. Because they told me, they said they are going to open account for you. They said the account they are opening for you is at the bank. During that time now, my money was with the guy that called me. I gave him the money. $750 US. They say, feel here, I feel. Feel here, put your name, I put my name. Your date of birth, I put my date of birth. They said, do you have phone? I said, I don't have phone number. So that day they make the transaction. They said, sign here, I sign. When we came out, they carry us to another place, they say Paradise Shift Room. There they introduced their business to us. They said, now you don't come here to a mining company, but rather you come here to do QNet. I say, you deceive me. I say, you put shame on me. Because I told all my friends that I'm going to Ghana, an improved place like Ghana. I said, I'm going there to work.
Failure of the host to refund the money resulted in a scuffle between Mr. Bonga and his colleagues on one side and QNet officials at the other. The matter was reported to the Abuakwa police, who are investigating. Amid the tussle, Bonga and his colleagues are struggling to survive with no money to buy food.
This is our first time of being in Ghana and our first time of being in Kumasi specific. I said, we don't know anybody here, we don't know the route to go to police station, in fact. So the next day, I start fighting them. I said they will not enter the room if they don't give my money. They came to police station, which is Abuakwa police station. They reported the matter to police. The police went to arrest me. That day when they heard that the police is coming, they took out their QNet paper. They fold it, they put it inside. So the next day we went to the police station. The police went, they took statement from us. We give our statement. They carry us to one of the crime officer. Crime officer talked to us. He talked to the guys. He said, now, what I'm telling you, he said, you guys, he said, the act you do, he said, is bad. He said, it's vicarious act. He said, vicarious liability. He said, how can you call the person far away from the Gambia, you come with him here, you tell him he's a mining company, and it's not a mining company, it's another business, it's QNet. He said, how can that happen? He said, please give their money. Next day now, when they called me with the guy went, their boss, which they called Joseph, he went to the police. That day, I think they are calling me to give our money. So what I see, they start opening phones. They said we buy product in Malaysia. Up to now, we don't eat at times. At times we eat once a day.
From Abuakwa, for Joy News, Ohiming Terrier reporting.
Now, the Importers and Exporters Association is accusing shipping companies of gross insubordination to the Transport Ministry and disregard for Ghana's sovereignty. They say the companies have refused to follow government's directive to waive demurrage and rent charges at the port. Executive Secretary for the association, Samson Asakia Wingabit, is demanding that the ministry takes immediate action.
Our government, through the Minister of Transport, has issued a letter to the Ghana Shippers Authority to issue a statement or a letter directing the shipping lines and some terminal operators, or with the terminal operators, to, as a matter of fact, absorb demurrage, rent, storage, and other things from the period that the government shut down the country. So, Shippers Authority followed the Minister Directive, wrote a letter to the shipping lines. Shipping lines representative, that is, they also have an association called SWAC, Ship Owners and Agents Association, had issued a letter asking Shippers Authority to come back to them with better and further explanatory. They don't understand the request and why it should be so. They cannot dictate to the people of Ghana, they cannot dictate to the Minister of Transport, and we think that this letter that they are responding to, and even asking, they went ahead to ask government that, okay, so if they absorb the rent, would the government also, through the Ghana Maritime Authority, Shippers Authority, and GAPOA, the charges, if they come to bed at the port, and the port authority use security to take care of the place, will they also absorb those charges that the shipping line will be paying to? We think these two doesn't go in tangent. And so, in Nigeria, Shippers Council in Nigeria issued a letter to shipping company. We did not see such a response from them. And so we are serious. We are calling on the Minister of Transport that he need to act now.
Away from that story, he's become an inspiration to himself and other people despite his disability. Kofi Vinyo and Company, a food processing firm at Odumase Kwatre in the Bono region, credited to 36-year-old physically challenged man. In 2016, when Kofi emerged national best maize farmer, he set the stage to overcome disability and be a national asset. He went ahead to set up a business to produce organic tiger nuts powder and ginger flour. My colleague Ohiming Teria visited the factory and has come through with the following report.
Born to peasant parents at Mim in the Ahafo region, the destiny of the last of 7 children, born Norma, was to change forever. A quack doctor wrong injection of him at age 6, paralyzed him from waist down and confined him to crutches.
I wasn't born in the same condition. According to my mother, I was 6. I fell sick and I was sent to the hospital. And a quack doctor injected me and I paralyzed. So that's how my condition came. But it was a village. And the mother is not educated, the father is not educated, so nobody took any action against anybody.
Despite all challenges, including persistent falling on the farm, Vinyo never despaired.
I went to my cassava farm and I fell down heavy, but it didn't scare me. When I got to the hospital and my doctor asked me what happened, I told him I went to the farm and I fell down. He said, "Hey, but what are you looking for?" I said, "Yeah, what am I looking for? I'm working. I cannot be absentee farmer, and I can't say that because of my challenge I will not go to the farm. Whatever thing I do, I'm happy because seeing myself producing food for the greater men in the country to eat, it's something that makes me very happy. The president eat my food, the ministers eat my food. It makes me great."
He was National Maize Best Farmer in 2016, in addition to harvesting over 26,000 bags of maize. Then he took a step further into food processing by setting up factory in the Sunyani East District.
I entered into farming somewhere 2010. So I was doing it gradually until 2016. I was adjudged the National Best Maize Farmer.
Congratulations to Kofi there. It's a very uplifting story. Expect to see more of this story during the marketplace at the top of the hour. Now, coming up in business, coronavirus pandemic threatens livelihood of many as foreign remittance flow for households see big decline.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The coronavirus pandemic is now posing a huge threat to the livelihoods of many Ghanaians who are dependent on funds from relatives abroad. Some 23% of the nation's 3.8 billion remittance flows is likely to be lost this year. According to the World Bank, remittance flows around the world are set to plummet more than $100 billion this year due to the several travel restrictions which have made it difficult for migrants to send money back to their families. Speaking to Joy Business, the project assistant for migration and development at the International Organization for Migration, Eric Kwame Akumenyi, explained the current development will have negative consequences for many households.
So as of last year, like I said, we are 3.8 billion. The World Bank projects that for Sub-Saharan Africa, because of the COVID, we are likely to see a reduction in these inflows, probably around 20 to 23% of those inflows. So what that means is that we're probably likely to see less of that 23% of less of what we had received last year if we had to maintain the same figures. There was not much projection in terms of increase for 2020 based on last year's figures. So if we're probably looking at the same figure for last year, then we're looking at a shortfall of around 20 to 23%. And that's a lot of money. The question I would ask is, what does that mean for Ghana? What does that mean for the economic migrants? The situation with Ghana is that for economic migrants, most of them, first of all, have to go through recruitment agencies, and they spend the first years of work paying back the recruitment agencies. So if as a result of COVID, most of them are losing their jobs, most of them are out of work, what it means is it will be difficult to pay back most of these recruitment agencies. And that will have a lot of impact, because that put the migrants in a very vulnerable situation. Beyond that, if migrants are able to send monies back home, these monies are going to migrant sending households, which are mostly households that are so much dependent on remittances. Remittances are being used to pay school fees, they are being used to support household income as basic as food and daily clothing needs, are being used to pay rent, are being used to meet medical needs. So when we have such major impact from COVID, then we're likely to see a lot of people being pushed below the safety net, and that could affect households, it could affect a lot of people below the line and very vulnerable groups. Yeah.
In other news, ADB Bank has earmarked 1 million Ghana cedis to support the fight against coronavirus. The managing director, John Kofi Mensah, has disclosed the bank will donate part of the money to the agribusiness sector. He spoke to Joy Business after some key institutions took delivery of medical equipment donated by the bank.
Apart from the 1 million Ghana cedis announced, the ADB Bank has also waived all charges on its electronic transactions below 100 Ghana cedis and reduced interest rates by 200 percentage points. According to the Managing Director, John Kofi Mensah, the donation, which farmers will also benefit from, is in support of the fight against the coronavirus.
Bring items that are going to support them in their work towards this eradication of this pandemic. So today you see the items, assorted ones. It is going to selected institutions like the Immigration Service, Ministry of Food and Agriculture for our agribusiness and farmers, selected regional hospitals, Wage, Tamale, Cape Coast, selected district hospitals, and other institutions.
The bank has also made some donations to the COVID-19 Trust Fund set up by government.
ADB have committed 1 million cedis immediately to support the eradication of the COVID fund. We followed it up with putting 200,000 of the 1 million into the COVID-19 fund, which we did last week. And we decided to be selective on some institutions which we feel are in the forefront of the battle as phase one. And that
the ADB Bank will soon announce a special package for customers to ease the pressure of the pandemic.
All right, and that's it for business. More coming up on the marketplace in 20 minutes. Up next, sports.